Gals with Tawnie the Neuromermaid. I think one of the most powerful things we can do is share stories and share what we are doing. So I think it's really amazing what fellow people have done with their time and energy. And so I wanted to use my platform and my space to keep sharing all these amazing people that I am surrounded by and that I come in contact with. And Errol is one of those said people. And I'm very excited to hear what he's been working on and hear him share all about what you're doing. So I'm going to let you have the floor.
Appreciate this. Hello, all. My name is Errol Reyes. I had my brain March 2021, and I was on a 45-day coma. Didn't know that I woke up from a sleep. Apparently, I had this. Come to find out, we found out, the doctors, that this was hereditary. And I never had any symptoms, unlike my fellow survivors. They've had headaches. And I thought since that was the pandemic, I was working out. I was doing the P90. Yeah, I was healthy and I had a clue that this was hereditary until this happened. And out actually that the two uncles that I remember died, we thought was a attack, but one of them and apparently literally dropped dead, and the other one was discovered by his daughter in his house with a TV on, holding a remote control, and apparently he had been dead for hours. And back then, there was no question. We thought it was a heart attack. And apparently, my dad notified all of her family in the Philippines and some to the U.S. And unfortunately, my dad passed of disease, and 2 years ago now. And so it really bummed me out. I could not even talk, and I was told that I was on my lap. I really remember that, and all I remember was the fact that I woke up and I needed a walker to go to the bathroom because I could not walk. And gradually, my nurse walked me every day in the lobby around, and then I was able to go home, still using a walker. And I clarified with my husband that it was 3 to 4 weeks that I was using a walker and had a wheelchair. And then gradually, when I went back to the occupational therapist, gave me the 4-prong cane, 3, 2, 1, and I was able to walk slow enough, but enough for me to walk our dog around the block. And then I went back to Echelon bike. We have that before my aneurysm go class, and I was able to do, which is 4 miles a day. And then gradually, I was actually able to do 20 miles a day, and that's 4 classes. And then I decided to go back to the gyms, slow lift weights.
I just wanted to take quick to just because he jumped, and it's because I know we're trying to be fast, but what's amazing is that he left, like you said, a wheelchair. You were paralyzed at some points, and you were able to, with rehab and so many different things, to see your progress, your progression.
Yeah.
I first met Errol. So I story, but it's just going to just hear how you heal.
Yes, and now I can leg press 380 pounds, and so it felt so good. And I mean, it was not just the doctor. There's got to be a will for you to heal. And the same thing with my memory. There was a time when my occupational therapist would give me 5 words, and we would chit 45 minutes, and then she would ask me back. I could not remember that whatsoever. So I got worried that what if I go back to work and I end up forgetting or interviewing? I'm in human resources, by the way. And so I took this Jim Quick, highly recommend him. He gave me my confidence back. And I wish I would see him soon
You
But
will one day. We're manifesting it, and you'll get to thank him. And I'll tell him, I'll say, you taught us
so
in
great.
memory.
And now I can memorize. I've already memorized the first 20 U.S. presidents, the first 20 elements of the periodic table. And my husband and I were talking, and he told me that's a great conversation for an event. And I thought he was mocking me. And I was like, what do you mean? And so I took it as a challenge. I memorized work and labor laws from 1935 NLRB to the 2020 new NAFTA agreement. And so now I have it memorized. It's really great. Was at work? Oh, I actually no. I had been on a leave of absence, but November 30th, 2024, I got my termination officially and status. And whenever you give that as an HR, that means the employee is terminated, either voluntary or involuntary. And so mine obviously was voluntary. And since it was a long leave of absence, and to be honest, and I confirmed with my boss that it had been me a long time. And for my leave of absence, you would get one extension, 2021. And so they terminated me as involuntary uh, due to business. So, what am I going to do? I mean, there's definitely a stigma of brain aneurysm, and it's sad. I mean, I've like us that they say they're slow, but they're not. I mean, some of them have the speech impediment. I do have that actually. This was not my voice. This is not my real voice.
But like we
And
were
so,
saying, I don't know his other voice. Errol just has a rasp. Like it,
thank you.
you feel like it's an immediate, you hear me and you know that's how it feels.
Yeah,
Like,
yeah.
and I can imagine that because I know all of mine are invisible, which it's such a weird dynamic because there's been times I'm like, I wish I had something visible so people knew that there was something because it's frustrating trying to get people to
Mm.
you and explain even more. But it is a gift that I get to decide if I tell you and open up and share things.
That's true. One thing too that I forgot to mention when I was getting Velocity, great app. It really juggled my mind because it has questions. It's like a game on, and there's like math detail and mathematics, vocabulary. I loved it. I every day I when I get the I continue that to 1 hour, 30, 1 hour just to keep myself understanding, and one thing that I did for myself is I wanted to challenge myself by understanding or learning a foreign language. And I was going to choose Cantonese because a lot of my employees are Cantonese. They didn't have it online, but they had Mandarin. And so I shopped around for Mandarin teachers. I saw like, I don't want to be a parrot because they say, this is how you say this. I'm like, I want to leave vocabulary terms. How do you say, what's the syntax? And how do you say those things conversationally? And so I'm doing that. And I was doing that actually. And in the beginning, I was hoping that my voice would change. So I would do this vocal warm on YouTube. While I do that, I flip the index of Chinese and English while I do that as hopefully. Actually, when my and luckily she said there is no physical damage on my throat and that what she was because I was on a 45-day coma, she said I forgot my body forgot how to talk. So
But it's
yeah,
something couple like I've heard of other survivors 10 years out all of a sudden being able to do certain things. So like you never know. And I think it's incredibly amazing that you were in a coma and you're over here coming. I wanted all these brain tests and stuff to increase my cognition to find out where I'm at. And then not only that, but you're like, I also want a new language. I mean, most people get older, they get this whole new tricks. You're not going to teach me anything. I don't want to learn anything.
yeah,
You
yeah.
went this ordeal. Like, I want to just continue my education. I want to help my brain continue to grow and learn. And I think it's incredible to talk about the neuroplasticity And when people think, I'm like, we can heal. So just because, I still stutter now, but early in my recovery, I couldn't come up with, I would go, you look back and I just say that to encourage other people when they're early in your recovery. You're like, this is how it is. It's like, no, you can towards things. And I know you talked about occupational therapists and doctors, but you also highlighted it has to be you.
Yeah, it's mind over matter. I know, not just me. I know there are people, my husband, my mom, my family members who helped me get well, workers that prayed for me, which is really unheard of. And as HR, that's like a because you don't talk about religion in the workplace. But I was told that after their HR meeting, we have it weekly, that they would have a prayer moment. Anyone else that they wanted to join, they'll join the wow. And it's really just admirable. I am so thankful. And, I was not really religious before, but now I know whatever religion that they were doing, prayer works. And
Yes.
so thankful of that. With the memory building, by the way, one of the things that Jim Quick says is on the learning your brain better is CANTS. And ANTS is an acronym of annoying negative thoughts. And years and years ago, I never knew what that was. It's like hated math. And so college, I took math last semester, and luckily I passed, of course. And then even then, when I have numbers in front of me, I push that on to my colleague who's an accountant person, or others who are operational. And so it's like, I don't want to do that. I mean, that's the strength, so that. And surely enough, I was like, wow, imagine if I didn't have those annoying negative thoughts. I could have been a controller, a director of finance. I don't know, but that was amazing. And like now, so thankful that I want anything that's given to me, I can memorize it. And so I even asked Jim, is because they had this question and answer, and I asked him if I make a for my HR gigs and an HR workshop that we had it every year. He never said no, but what he said, when you're training someone, you're not the other person, you're also training yourself. I was like, okay then. I created training, and actually, it's not my training. I definitely give credit to Jim Quick because I wish I had known this learning as a kid, because I would have been better, or at least will not have those ants, annoying negative thoughts. So, but now I don't feel like that's not an issue. That's being scared, not really confident, so a confidence boost for me.
And so do you think because of that, that's how you were able to make the pivot into nonprofit?
I applied for other positions. My position that I am now, my position as before my aneurysm, was director of talent development, human resources. What I used to do, I was stationed in one hotel, but I'm all corporate, and so director of the property. And then as a core employee, I actually traveled all over with, whenever we had was a property, I actually had to hire the janitor, the controller, the director of sales, director of HR, the whole interview process and all that. And once the team is completed on the acquisition day, I actually did the on of all the employees. And then, of course, the managers joined that too. So, well, that's one thing. I enjoyed it. Just for the record, I have moved out sick from August 2016 until my brain aneurysm. And so I just enjoyed what I do. I really enjoy dealing with employees. And I know my employees are like, "Oh, can I interrupt you, Mr. Errol?" I'm like, no, no, you don't interrupt me. Come over, come into my office. And when there's an issue, a lot of my they don't like to deal with that, and so they push it to HR. And I'm like, give it to me. It's like a
Love that. That's your gift zone.
hassle.
You're good with that.
Yeah, I
Okay.
love it. I remember way back when I was in another hotel before, there was this woman who came in, only spoke Spanish, didn't my Spanish is enough for me to converse, but she gave me this paper and she said, "Can you help me?" And I was like, "What is this?" And then I saw it's a pregnancy result. And I was like, "I don't know how to do this." So I called the number with her. I saw there's a phone number there. Called the number, and then I told her about this, and she gave me the biggest hug ever.
Oh my gosh.
Oh my God, yeah, it was so nice. And then I asked her, first I had asked her, why did you not ask why didn't you just ask your friends? Apparently, it's a secret. Tell your husband. She gave me that look, almost tearing. And I was like, oh, I don't make any judgment, but obviously it's
Yeah.
not the husband's. And so, but after that, it was just so rewarding,
Okay.
and
That's good to know.
I enjoyed it. And yeah, it was, she could hug, and I in a closed room, and then so I got nervous. I'm like, okay, I know, but I don't want people to think that there's something going on in that
Goodness.
closed room.
I'm sure in HR you have
But
to be
yeah,
extra.
exactly right.
Yeah.
So I try to apply for other position, and I think because I joined a Facebook group of aneurysm, there's like about 5 groups on online on Facebook, and I would post a picture of me on with a T-shirt saying, "I'm a survivor of brain aneurysm. What's your excuse?" And then I even have a shirt that says, "The brain me, but I won," right? And so one day, a friend of mine was like, "Oh my God, Jorge, what happened? When did you get an aneurysm?" And he said, "No, I didn't." It's like, huh? How do you to this web page? And then he said it was a link on her feed. On his like, hey, that means everybody see that. I was not hiding it, but I just didn't want to be discriminated. That's the reason why that no one has ever called me. And then one of my posting, I base my future employers, blah, 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 blah. Anyhow, nothing has happened yet. And so I figured, you know what? I need to do something. Hence, Revive Solution HR was born. I figured I will do any HR help for non-organization. My husband, who's a minister, UU minister, had mentioned, I'm sure there's going to be a lot of churches that that from you and other organizations too. And I was like, yeah, I guess, since I'm not yet, I might as well give my efforts to those who can benefit it.
Grateful that you want to give back, that you're continuing your knowledge, your experience, and just like you said, your passion. So,
Thank you.
said Revive Solution. Is it? I'll put the information, but if you want to say the whole little thing so people can hear it in the podcast.
Revive Solutions, if you want to get the website. And that shows there anyone who's interested on that, they can actually make an appointment, a calendar appointment there. And whoever wants to do so, you can put name there, and then that would link to my calendar and would know that someone has a need to HR question. So
Loved your website. It was nice, easy, perfect. Could see how you book an appointment and how you can contact you. So thank you for putting that together. Thank you for sharing with us, Errol.
thank,
I really do.
thanks to my husband, he's the one that did that. He helped me doing so.
I love that you give credit where it's due and you talk about people inspired you and helped you do things, but at the end of the day, when actually doing it. So it's incredible. And I just am grateful other survivors who are showing that we can take this and turn it into something grow from it. So I you're doing, and I can't wait to do an update. So we keep you guys in the loop. Follow Errol. I'll put all of his information here, and we'll see
Thank you.
you later. Bye.